The polite way of saying no from Javi Gracia there. Troy Deeney, the former Watford captain, alongside Nigel Adley at St Andrews. No, it was lovely to hear Javi Gracia say some nice words about you, Troy. What was your working relationship like?
No, it was great. I still kept in contact with him when he went to Leeds, and when obviously went out into the UAE and did some work as well. So, look, he's a great guy, and there's not many great humans in football. Obviously, a lot of it is literally a working relationship, as you alluded to. I prefer it when people are nasty about me, if I'm being totally honest. I got a little bit of street cred to keep up with, but no, it was good. We had some good times. Obviously, got to the FA Cup final. It didn't work out how we wanted it to, but we still got there, and it was a journey, right? So, no, it was great for him, and I think it's nice for the Watford fans to have someone that they can genuinely see the happiness. I had the fortune of doing his interview when he first came back for the club. He's talking about his kids have grown up being Watford fans, and you see the pictures, and his kids now are like 15, 16, and they've still got Watford shirts on. So he bleeds it, and he wants this to be successful. But the best part about it, Hugh, he's come into this now with his eyes open. He knows he could get sacked at any moment, so he's going to enjoy it. And I think that takes a level of pressure off him now, where he's not chasing something. It's just a case of him being the best version of himself and hoping the team follow him on that journey.
You know, they often say, especially in sport, you know, going back doesn't always work out. It's something that people shouldn't do. Can you understand why Watford brought him back? And I alluded to it a little bit earlier on when we were speaking to Adam, that it may have felt very much an emotional decision, one designed at bridging a gap between the ownership of the football club and the fans. Does it feel like that's why he was brought back?
I think that was definitely part of the conversation. I think the best thing about it is Javi's said that he had to speak to Gino himself before he came back. He wanted to know why he was sacked, which goes to show you the ruthless nature of this business, right? They've got rid of him with no explanation, no nothing, just go. And now we want him back. He wants to know, okay, what was it? What were these things that worked? So he's tried to grow as a human being, but he hasn't had that closure. So for me, I think there's so many moments and teachable moments that's happened for Watford. I also believe that the likes of Sheffield United bringing Chris Wilder back for a third time isn't that they think he's a better manager than he was before. There is an element of connecting the fans again, and if your fans aren't on side, you're on a hide into nothing. So I think it was definitely played a part. I don't think it was the biggest factor in him coming back.
Well, he's got a job on his hands with his team tonight, taking on a Birmingham City side who've been absolutely flying. The atmosphere fantastic inside St Andrews, and a big travelling Watford support as well. They've come in hope tonight. Troy, what are you hoping to see this evening?
I'm hoping to see both teams go at it. I think they're both in a moment of their season where games like tonight dictate how your season's going to be. So for Birmingham City, if they get a win, it's pushing on and chasing down the playoff picture and trying to get close to Coventry and Middlesbrough. For Watford, if they lose tonight, it doesn't really shape their season, but it's the way that if they lose tonight, I would expect if they were to lose 2 or 3, to start turning and the old habits would come back. So what I want to see is a Watford team that's together, that represents their manager, and a Birmingham City team that are now shouldering the responsibility of being the big spenders, the Tom Brady team. Everyone's looking at you. And embrace that and go, right, we're going to take you on and we're going to show you why we're one of the best teams in the league. So should make for a great game. I'm expecting goals, so that means it'll be 0-0.
We shall see. Monday night under the lights at St Andrews has delivered certainly in recent times for the home side. 12 goals scored in their last 3 home games. Watford can move to within 2 points of the playoff places with victory tonight. It would be 1 point if the Blues can take home all 3 points. It is your live and exclusive EFL action here on Talksport 2 in the company of the former Watford captain and former Birmingham City striker Troy Deeney and our very own Nigel Adley.
Thank you, Hugh. Good evening once again. The first match of December, so it's a sign that things are moving on this season. The Christmas programme and the transfer window not too far away. Birmingham well placed and well backed for another promotion challenge. Watford have made their customary early change in the technical area. Whether Javi Gracia can recreate the spirit he oversaw before is a very difficult question to answer. The two teams once again. Key change for Birmingham. Tomoki Iwata, who has been an ever-present, is suspended. So Bright Asai Samuel comes in at right back. It's Beadle in goal. Asai Samuel, Neumann, Clara and Cochrane. Paik and Doyle holding in midfield. Roberts, Stansfield and Gray behind Dooch in attack. For Watford, there was a hope that Egil Selvig could be back in goal tonight, but he's not in the squad. So Nathan Baxter continues, and Nestori Irankunda, the young Australian, has had to fly home for family reasons. The only change sees Edu Kayembe drop to the bench. He scored twice in the only away win so far at Derby. Tom Ince comes into the starting lineup. Baxter in goal, and Ngakia, Caban, Pollock and Bowler the back four. Ince, Loser, Cipriano and Mama across the middle, with Dumbia and Kerem Gord, the two strikers in attack. And it's Watford who will get the game underway in their familiar gold shirts with red stripes down the front this season, red shorts and red socks. Birmingham wearing all blue. Keep right on. Booming out from the Tilton Road end away to our left-hand side. Another very good crowd inside St Andrews this evening. Not too far short of capacity. And Monday Night Football is underway on the home of the EFL, Talksport 2, with Watford defending the railway end away to our right-hand side. It has been pouring with rain all day. The smoke from the pre-match fireworks still drifting across the turf as Ngakia brings it forward here for Watford, clips it wide to this near side, and the youngster Mama, who comes in field into the penalty area for Kerem Gord, and now wide towards the left-hand side again, and Bowler had the opportunity to cross, but in the end he's forced towards that corner flag, and there's a real wrestling match going on with Asai Samuel on this near side, and eventually Birmingham get the throw in. And Troy, really the emphasis is on Birmingham to set the pace here.
Yeah, absolutely.
First shot for Watford though, which is not too far wide. It was driven from outside the penalty area from Tom Ince, who cut in field. He's looking for his 100th league goal tonight, and he wasn't too far away.
It's a wonderful start from Watford. They had the kick-off, and normally you see the Championship, people play for position and try and move it up the pitch. Watford worked it from left to right. Good play from Jerry Ngakia. It ends up being a clearance from Birmingham City that falls to Tom Ince, cuts in on his left foot, gets a shot away 35 yards, and it looked like for a second it just beat the keeper at the near post. But it's a really good start already for Watford, and this will be great confidence not only for the team but for the manager as well.
Mamadou Mama on this near side again, but he just runs it out of play. It will be a throw-in. Adam Hertzek is our referee here tonight, and the rain was absolutely torrential around an hour ago, but it's eased off, although it's still fairly heavy, more of a drizzle now, and the pitch here at St Andrews already begun to show one or two signs of wear and tear here this season.
Yeah, already a lot of passes get played, don't they, for Birmingham City. They cover every blade of grass, and you can just see through the middle it's starting to pick up a little bit. I don't expect Watford to do a lot of possession-based football. I can see them going into the full-backs, looking to try and get these two strikers in early doors, whether that be turning it down the side or just dropping one in. Because what Birmingham City will allow you to do tactically, they'll go 2v2 at the back, because they want to overload the midfield with possession. So for Watford, it's about containing, and then when they strike quick and direct through the middle.
Troy Deeney, 2 promotions to the Premier League with Watford, with us here on Talksport 2 this evening. Also had 11 goals in 56 games at his boyhood club Birmingham City, as Birmingham, wearing all blue, look to bring it forward on this near side with Patrick Roberts on loan from Sunderland. Does have support from Doyle, and now it's back towards Neumann, the German, who finds Cochrane down the left. It's a high ball forward and a good ball as well, which was taken down superbly initially, but then the challenge comes in on the far side on Damari Gray, and it will be a throw into Birmingham, taken quickly and nodded straight out of play on the far side by Dooch, and it will be a throw in for Watford.
Yeah, you've seen patterns of the play already, haven't you? Really good from Damari Gray there, coming short and running behind. Lovely ball from Cochrane and a great touch from Damari Gray. Jeremy Ngakia is known for going forward, and he's arguably not the best defender, but he offers a lot more going forward. Probably the modern day fullback in fairness. So for Damari Gray, he needs to get out and get at him as much as he can. But again, you just see their ball just hoofed up into the strikers. If Watford can get hold of the ball, they will be 2v2, 3v3. So Birmingham City need to move the ball with tempo. Yes, I know they like to dictate play, but move it with tempo. Otherwise, Watford this will play into their hands.
Roberts on this near side, just in front of Javi Gracia, who is very animated inside the Watford technical area. Chris Davis, arms thrust deep into pockets to his right as Neumann goes all the way back to James Beadle, the 21-year-old on loan from Brighton, who replaced Ryan Alsop in the early weeks of the season. 3 clean sheets in 9 games for him. Birmingham have scored plenty of goals here, but they often give you an opportunity as well. And they've scored 4 in each of their last 3 home games against Portsmouth, Millwall and Norwich. If they can do that again here tonight, that would be the first time they've achieved that since 1959. As Gray has support on the overlap, the cross into the penalty area, just swings away from Dooch, and it's now brought clear on this near side by Mama, but he shows too much of that to Doyle. And now Asai Samuel again. All the way back to Clara, who's got time to bring it forward deep into the Watford half, attacking down the Birmingham left-hand side. On the far side now, Damari Gray once again. Stansfield made tracks towards him, but here is Doyle, scooped down the line to find Gray again, who was onside. Dukes the furthest player forward. Gray comes in field, twisting and turning inside the area, but a good challenge from Ngakia, who was watchful there, and it will be a throw into Birmingham with 5 minutes played and no goals at St Andrews, as Gray throws it in towards Dooch, who's not offside from the throw-in, of course. And now Gray again, and he had support on the outside from Cochrane, but it's now further back, and the cross towards that near post is sliced away by Caban, and behind for the game's first corner.
Yeah, great start for Birmingham City. They've upped the tempo, haven't they? Going down that left-hand side with Damari Gray. Doyle in there started to dictate the play. I just feel for Watford, they're sinking too early into the box. And if Damari Gray gets his head up there, cuts it to the edge of the box, you've got Doyle and you've got Paik who are coming onto it. I think that's where the first goal could come from. Watford just defended a little bit too deep, but a great start in the opening 5 minutes of this game.
Corner kick for Birmingham on the far side there left, and it will be an in-swinger high towards that near post, very deep, and it almost goes in. Well, Nathan Baker, the goalkeeper, was nowhere there, and there was a Birmingham player coming in to try and fasten onto that, and it was a brilliant delivery from Tommy Doyle, and it almost went straight in. It was Paik Sung Ho coming in at the far post, who was inches away.
I think that's too good a ball from Tommy Doyle. What whip and dip he's put on that. Really emphasised this to the back post. He took everybody out. Arguably, Paik should get a better contact on that. He's just sliding and reaching, but I think he should probably score there. But that's a real warning sign for Birmingham City. The first corner that was shaped to the back post, and Watford had no answers for it. Paik probably should have scored.
Well, they'll look at how Nathan Baker dealt with that, or not deal with that, and that will give them food for thought, I think.
Absolutely. Again, it always worries me when goalkeepers just go down and they're screaming at the referee.
There was no foul there.
No, there's no foul at all. But go and be commanding of your area. It's the one area that the goalkeepers are always protected. So, but when they start going down now, it just creates that little bit more confusion, and I think referees are getting a little bit wise to it now.
Now Neumann charging forward infield to Asai Samuel. It was Loser with the challenge, but no free kick. Loser going deep into his own penalty area. Caban showing very calm feet there, evading Stansfield twice on the edge of his own 6-yard area before it's hammered downfield. And there's a chase at the other end now for Doumbia, the Mali international, and a deep cross in from him on the left-hand side. It's beyond Ince, but he will be able to recover this with the help of Loser. And now infield again to Cipriano, who scored for Peterborough against Birmingham in the Virtu Trophy final at Wembley last season, and has since moved on to the Championship. Now Bowler, players beginning to slip and slide on the playing surface. It's threaded forward by Mama. Good ball again, and the ball in from Bowler fizzed into the penalty area, and Birmingham just about scrambled that ball behind. I think it was Clara who got the final touch, and it's a Watford corner.
That should have been a goal. That's wonderful play from Watford down this left-hand side. Again, Marmot getting on the ball. There's a lovely ball for the undercut of Bowler. And as he gets it, he just fires it across the 6-yard box. And for me, the striker's got to be running across the front. Ends up being 2 Birmingham defenders that get there, but it should be a goal.
The corner for Watford, high to the far post, and then Bowler rather slashes at the half volley on the edge of the penalty area, and it will drift harmlessly into the tilted end, and it will be a goal kick. Nearly 9 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Birmingham 0, Watford 0. Don't forget, every single Premier League game this week is live and exclusive across the Talksport network. Tomorrow night on Talksport 2, 7:30, Fulham against Manchester City with Joe Shannon and Martin Keown. On the Talksport app, it will be Bournemouth against Everton at the same time. And Troy will be alongside Sam Matterface at St James's Park for Newcastle against Spurs. That gets underway at 8:15. As it's cleared away downfield again by Birmingham, and it's threaded right down the centre by Clara, but in the end he has given the ball away. But in turn, Watford have given it up cheaply again, as it's Bowler who's given the ball straight to Roberts, and Roberts can bring it forward now. He's got support from Asai Samuel on the outside. The high cross is hanging, and it's claimed well this time by Baxter, backpedaling at the near post.
Yeah, good play. It comes from two sloppy passes. First one for Birmingham City. Clara tries to force one in there to Jay Stansfield, just gets it wrong, and then Imran Louza, within 2 seconds, turns the ball again. And there we go.
Nathan Baxter has been penalised here for the 8-second rule.
Yeah.
He's clung onto the ball too long, and it's a corner kick for Birmingham. And having seen the first one from Tommy Doyle, this could possibly be costly.
I totally understand these are the rules. You can't tell me that this isn't because the referee's on Sky Sports. That's not been given all season in the Championship. But massive moment for Birmingham City, and again, Watford just becoming their own downfall at this moment, getting a little bit sloppy. It's created a little bit of tension in their crowd as well.
Tommy Doyle will whip the corner in again, high into the 6-yard area. This time, Baxter does well. He advanced off his line, claims at the far post, and very quickly bowls the ball out, looking for the run of Marmer on this near side, but it's covered well by Asai Samuel. You do find some supporters now actually counting to try and tell the referee it's 8 seconds, but yeah, I have to say I've not seen it penalised too often.
No, neither have I. Again, it's just young referee trying to do everything right. He's for the letter of the law, he's right in what he does. But again, I just think it's one of those that we've seen it in years gone by. Remember when they dive, it's going to be a yellow card. You see it for 2 weeks, and then it stops, and it just feels like that's what's happened.
Showing the yellow card as well.
Yeah, exactly. All of that. It seems to have stopped, but this game at the moment is all played into Birmingham City's hands. I feel Watford have given themselves a little bit of an uphill challenge to do now, because the anxiety's there. They haven't really got hold of it. It's going from back to front very, very quickly. The centre-backs don't want to play for Watford. And I'm just seeing down here, Samuel seems to have Marmer's number as well, both defensively and attackingly. So that's something to keep an eye on as well, because I think he can run all over this Watford left-hand side.
Neumann brings it forward now. He's got Roberts in space, and the ball inside the fullback almost picks him out, but it's covered well by Bowler, and it will be a throw into Birmingham City on this near side with nearly 12 minutes played here on Talksport 2 at a very wet St Andrews, and it's Birmingham 0, Watford 0. Birmingham with 5 wins in 8 games at home. Hull City are the only team to win here, and that contrasts with 6 goals in 9 games away from home, but they have won a couple on the road, Birmingham. And Watford with 18 of their 24 points so far at Vicarage Road. That single away victory, their first for 270 days, coming recently at Derby when they came from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Damari Gray now comes in field. His shot, though, takes a deflection and spins across the penalty area off Ince, but Birmingham have it back. Roberts now into the penalty area for Asai Samuel. Big night for him. Coming back into the team, the cross into the penalty area from Doyle was a teasing one, but it's headed away by Ngakia at the far post. And now it's gathered by Marmer, who does well to bring it forward now for Watford over the halfway line. There could be an overload here down the right, and the space and time for Tom Ince to bring it forward and try and tease Alex Cochrane deep into the penalty area. Ince pulls it back. Marmer with a shot, beaten away by Beadle. It was almost straight at him, but it's a slippery ball, and Beadle just happy to palm the ball to safety, and it will be a throw into Watford on the far side.
Watford look good in transition, don't they, when they get in the ball turned over and they can get 3 and 4 on that top line. Really good play from Imran Louza again, going out to Tom Ince. And that's what we said before the show about Tom Ince being in there as opposed to Kayembe. Excuse me. Kayembe would have got his shot off there, where Tom Ince is looking for others, and it ends up being a good, well-worked well-worked situation. Unfortunately, couldn't really work the goalkeeper. Beadle had to just push it away. But it just feels like Watford are in this game. But I feel like Birmingham City have got a growing influence in Doyle. He's just picking the passes now and started to have more of an influence. And that edge of the area is becoming more and more of an area of concern, because Chris Davies just in front of us is screaming at Damari Gray to cut those balls back as opposed to just crossing them.
Goal kick downfield from Beadle is cleared away by Caban. It's a very young Birmingham, or rather Watford back four. Mark Bowler at 27 is the oldest player, as Cochrane slides it down the line for Birmingham down their left. Here is Gray, and now it's gathered by Paik, who had that great chance sliding in to try and finish off the corner from Doyle in the early moments. Now Doyle again. Could be dangerous to give him plenty of room in midfield. Neumann coming forward for Birmingham, wide towards Roberts down the right. Roberts coming infield onto that left foot. Neumann looking to join in with Doyle, but Doyle's ball forward is cut out by Marma, and it will be a throw into Birmingham around the halfway line. It's very early days, Troy, and it's different players in a different league, but are you seeing the Javi Gracia style of play here, the one that you used to play?
Yes, I'm seeing an adapted version, one of working with the players he's got. I think they are solid, they're organised, they're structured. You can see defensively what he used to work on with us in 2018 is still working now with the lines going up. I just think that when they play the game the way that they're playing, it's a lot of work here for this midfield as a two to be able to get through. And I'm not sure the more this game develops whether they can keep that high energy in which he wants. That's maybe where the bench comes in.
Now Gray coming down the left-hand side. The deep cross to the far post is headed away by Bowler and then volleyed back through the crowd by Paik on the edge of the penalty area. Actually volleyed the ball into the ground, and a huge splash of water came up as he connected there, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, free on the edge of the area there for Birmingham City. Damari Gray hasn't quite got his head up yet. Keeps putting the balls into good areas. But as that gets headed out by a Watford player, there's three. There's Tommy Doyle, there's Samuel, and there's Paik, who he ended up falling to. I think once they realise there's that much time there, he can take an extra touch and probably try and guide it into the corner as opposed to snatching at it. But a good 15 minutes for Watford. They'll be happy getting through this first 15 with this weather and try and grow into the game.
Well, they've had more shots so far, and the only attempt on target as well, as Mama comes forward now. The high cross in looking for Kieran Gord, but he leaps and can't make contact, but it's Pollock who quickly plays it back over the top. Now Doyle, and on the edge of the penalty area, Clara going all the way back to Beadle, who hammers the ball downfield very deep. And Gakia, though, quickly returns it into the Birmingham half, and Alex Cochrane will allow the ball to drift out of play for a throw-in.
The ball into the box there was a hopeful call of handball by the Watford fans, which was sarcastically jeered every time the Birmingham City players touched the ball then by the Birmingham City fans, letting everybody know it clearly wasn't handball.
And the Watford fans were the furthest away from that incident at the other end of the ground in the railway end. But good following tonight on a Monday night. Of course, it's a busy time with Christmas around the corner. Not too many empty seats in that away end as Roberts comes forward. He had his shirt pulled there, though, initially, but nothing given as he goes beyond Cipriano. And now Cochrane, wide towards Gray again. And Gakia shows him the inside, and Gray whips that ball into the near post, but it's gathered unchallenged by Baxter.
You see it again there, Tommy Doyle in loads of space. I just feel like they've got to show Damari Gray just a couple of clips at half-time that there's so much space on the edge of the area.
Bowler now down the left, a low ball into the penalty area. It's laid back and driven wide in the end. It was Mama who was on the end of that. It was Doumbia who played it back into his path, and he was closed down, Mama, as he hit it, but he failed to hit the target.
He's got to do better there. That's a wonderful chance for Watford again on the counter-attack, coming down this left-hand side. Doumbia's been very good. It was a lovely ball into the box. So as Bowler played it into Doumbia. Doumbia takes a touch, sets Mama on the edge of the box there, and he just slashes at it. No composure. Again, he has Paik diving in at him, but you're in the box. No one's going to touch you in the box. I think just in the final third for both boxes, we're really disappointed that there's no real quality and no real decisive touches that, right, I'm going to be the 1-2 score. Disappointed for Watford. They'll feel that they should have had a goal here.
Well, Othman Mama is just beginning to get a run in the team. The Moroccan sign from Montpellier. And you look at the goals, Kieran Gord's got 5, of course, Imran Loser's got 6, and now the challenge has been made on Paik, and Adam Hertzeg, the referee, will just have words here. It was Cipriano, and he was certainly late there.
I don't think he is. I would disagree with you there, Nigel, unfortunately. I think he wins the ball and his momentum takes him through. For me, this is where the game's gone just completely wrong now. Paik stays down, fair enough, he might be hurt, but every player runs at the referee. I thought we'd stopped that 3 or 4 years ago. Every player runs at the referee, screaming for someone to be sent off. It's embarrassing. He's got a yellow card. I think when you see it back, you'll see that he won the ball. It's just his momentum. But what's he supposed to do? How is he supposed to stop himself? We've got into this weird space now where the Championship is trying to be like the Premier League. It's the Championship for a reason. We're just watching a replay in front of us. It's a short back. He wins the ball. He does nothing wrong there, and he's got a yellow card for it. 19 minutes into the game, and he's going to have to win it. He does nothing wrong. And in the Prem, he'd probably get sent off for that. The Championship is tussle and bustle. You're going to get hit. Unfortunately, he took a kick on the knee there, but it's only momentum. He's done nothing wrong. That's a cheap yellow card for me from the referee. Really poor.
Well, Paik has stayed down, so it's given
He'll be
both
up in 10
coaches the
seconds.
opportunity to speak to their team, and Javi Gracia is doing that here. And he's having words with Mark Bowler, who's had 1 or 2 issues on this near side. We're watching in the commentary position here, slow motion replays. It always looks more of a challenge in slow motion.
But he still wins the ball first. It's literally his momentum. He hasn't left his foot in. He hasn't tried to do him. And here we go, everybody. Just so you're aware, Paik's fine.
Well, he's back on his feet. Adam Hertzeg may just usher him to the sideline. Coming up on Wednesday on the Talksport network, more Premier League action. Arsenal-Brentford on Talksport with Sam and Stuart at 7:30. On the Talksport app at the same time, Brighton against Villa and Burnley against Crystal Palace. Also Wolves against Forest. Liverpool-Sunderland will be with Jim and Dean Ashton on Talksport 2. That's an 8:15 kickoff, and I'll be alongside Lucy Ward at Ellen Road. Looking forward to this one. Leeds against Chelsea. That will be on the Talksport app as well, and that's an 8:15 kickoff. And we've got Manchester United against West Ham on Thursday night, and that's with Joe Shannon and Leanne Sanderson on Talksport. Free kick for Birmingham is taken quickly. Stansfield inside the penalty area. A deflected cross, and it's a brilliant save by Baxter to keep out the volley at the far post. And once again, Birmingham so close to the opening goal. Stansfield did brilliantly, and Baxter matched that with the save.
Great play all around here. Wonderful, quick thinking from Jay Stansfield. Little ball down the side of him. Watford expecting the big diag. It's a lovely little sweeping run. He gets to the edge of the 18-yard box, and I thought he was going to shoot, but it's a great decision to fire it across the box. It just breaks. I think that's to Neumann, sorry. Neumann with the kick. Great save from Baxter. Corner for Birmingham.
And the corner kick is gathered at the second attempt by Baxter, who quickly rushes out to the edge of his penalty area, heading through some traffic, and he plays it wide to the far side. And Dumbia, who can bring it forward here. Now Imran Loser, 22 minutes played, 0-0, but both teams have had opportunities here, and the conditions are really contributing. It's a pacey game on a very wet, slippery pitch, as Matty Pollock, son of Jamie, brings it forward on this near side. A high ball over the top, looking for Kieran Gord, but it's one back by Asai Samuel. Now Doyle leaping to guide a ball into the path of Paik, and Paik quickly wide towards Roberts, who comes in field down the right-hand side for Birmingham. Slipped into the penalty area, nearly found Stansfield, who was onside as well, but it was well read by Caban. And Watford will clear, and Marmer has now been pulled back by Doyle on the halfway line, and that will be a Birmingham yellow card.
Yeah, really good play there from Marmer on this left-hand side. Been a really good outlet for Watford, hasn't he, when they've been under pressure, just giving it to him. He's on the byline, he realises he's up against Doyle, and Doyle, unfortunately, he's got many skill sets. Pace is at one of them, just kicked it by him, and Doyle had to bring him down. Again, I don't know who will be the happier. I think both teams will be happy with how things are going, but both teams will feel that they can do more in the final third. What do you think, Nigel?
Well, I think that as the away team, Watford may be just the happier when you consider their away form so far, and they've kept Birmingham out, and they've had opportunities, and maybe another one here as Ngakia looks to dash down the byline, and he's challenged on the far side, and it will be a corner kick. And Imran Louza will come across to take this. And at the moment, Watford are doing a very good job of keeping Birmingham honest defensively as well. Pollock makes the late run into the penalty area. Louza very deep to the far post. Kiram Gord manages to win the header at the far post. Off balance, but it's into the arms of Beadle.
Yeah, I think he's got to do a bit better there. It's a really deep ball from Imran Louza. It's difficult as he's going backwards, but still tries to head it towards goal. He's got to be heading that towards the penalty spot and allowing someone to come on for it. Again, those set pieces for both teams haven't looked convincing defensively, and both will feel that there's an opportunity to get a cheap goal there.
Roberts in towards Doyle, and Doyle with a ball back towards Beadle. He just rears up, and he does well to control that on the thigh and quickly plays it out towards Clara. Nearly 25 minutes played here on Talksport 2, 0-0 at St Andrews in the rain as Roberts comes forward now and finds Doyle again, and it's often Patrick Roberts' game to come in field, and he can at times compress the play, but at the same time he does have that eye for a pass as it's brought forward here by Clara deep inside the Watford half, and now Cochrane will find Damari Gray, and Ngakia once again has got to concentrate defensively. Cochrane with the ball into the penalty area over the head of Dooch, and it manages to evade everybody as it bounces up and skids on through. But here is Asai Samuel now. Back towards Doyle again. Roberts. Asai Samuel is holding the width down the right-hand side. Roberts forcing Doyle back towards the halfway line, but Birmingham have worked this well. Paik involved, and now Roberts tries to flick it infield to Stansfield. It may ricochet across the penalty area and find Gray. Gray now pulls it back into the penalty area, but Cipriano was there to clear, but he's given it straight to Doyle. Doyle hits this right-footed into the arms of Baxter.
Yeah, really weird passage of play there. Birmingham City moving it really well. Watford just not being able to clear their lines, and it ends up breaking to Doyle 25 yards out, and he tries to hit the target and manages a little bit. Probably keeps the safety on a bit too much, straight down the throat of Baker, and a bit disappointing there. Birmingham City fans getting a little bit frustrated as that ball broke to Damari Gray. This time he cuts it back to the penalty spot. There's 5 Watford players in there to Birmingham's 2, and with all of this possession-based football that they have, they need to commit people more into the box and really develop that killer instinct, I feel.
Well, they've scored 12 goals in 3 home games, Birmingham, so I suppose now there's an expectation that they'll brush the opponents aside. They've had 68% of the possession so far, but Watford have had twice as many shots. As Pollock goes all the way back towards Baxter, and it's cleared downfield. Dumbia beaten to it in the air by Clara, and now Dutch laid off to Stansfield. Stansfield looking to use his trickery into the penalty area, but he fouls Cipriano, and it will be a free kick for Watford. 3 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses under Javi Gracia, but only 1 defeat in 7 games recently.
And the 2 losses are Sheffield United and Coventry?
Yeah. So the best team and a team who are on the way up, seemingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think they've only not scored in the Sheffield United game, if my research is right. I think they show you that they can score goals, and you can see that with how they counter-attack here. I've been more impressed with the fact that they've limited Birmingham City to nothing but pot shots. No real chance at the moment for Birmingham, and I feel like if they can keep that going, that'll stand them in good stead, not only for tonight, but moving forward. Keeping teams to shots from the edge of the box and then hitting on the counter-attack, and hopefully having the likes of Imran Louza, Chet Fatadza to come back in. You should win more games than you lose.
Well, 4 of Watford's 5 defeats so far have been 1-0, so the games have always been tight. As Louza goes back towards Kevan Caban, and now Pollock.
It's interesting now that the fact that they've got a bit of looked after the ball, a little bit of...
lovely touch by Bowler to release Mama into the penalty area. He drives it low, but it's blocked at the near post. But then Bowler with a deeper cross, high towards into was coming in, but he can't get anything on it, and it's cleared away by a combination of Cochrane and Gray up towards the halfway line.
I was just about to say that actually Watford looked more uncomfortable with the ball, but then Bowler does a wonderful piece of trickery and gets Mama away down this left-hand side. Unfortunately, just don't have that quality again in that final third, just to try and pick the right pass, and their shots are trying to shoot through 2 or 3 Birmingham City players. But I think when Watford don't have the ball, they look so much more comfortable, more astute, as opposed to Birmingham when they just backed off there and allowed them to have the ball. Kind of looked a little bit weird, didn't it, for Watford to have the ball? It was a bit strange.
But now Gray. Again, Ngakia is happy to usher him inside, but Doyle will loft it wide to the right now, and Roberts will try and take on Bowler. He goes for the curler, but Mama was doubling up and manages to block the shot, and now Roberts will try and go on the outside. He's got Asai Samuel in support. Roberts just caught there. Bowler had the nibble at him, but no free kick given, and Birmingham have the ball anyway. Here is Doyle on this near side, just in front of us. The rain still absolutely teeming down here in the second city as Clara goes wide towards Cochrane. And now Gray again in his second spell at St Andrews. Of course, went to Leicester and won the Premier League and played in the Champions League, as Roberts slipping and sliding under pressure from Bowler. Hooks it in field. It's won by Cipriano, but then Cipriano has been robbed by Paik. He comes forward here. Paik hits it brilliantly. Outstanding goal by Paik Sung-ho. And that really is what he is all about. Winning the ball in combative style, advancing towards the penalty area, and then he absolutely lashed it in, and it's Birmingham 1, Watford 0.
What a finish that is for Paik. Wins it back, as you say, but then he's driving forward. It's the first time Birmingham have had 4v4 on the top line with the runners of Jay Stansfield and Gray. Opens up the space. Watford have to back off, and 20 yards out, he just drives it, cuts across the ball. Wonderful strike. No chance for Baxter. What a goal. Birmingham 1, Watford 0.
And that's why he is one of the most effective midfielders in the Championship.
Yeah, I said it at the top of the show. For me, him and Ouattara are the two that can step again and go into the Premier League and not look out of their depth. But this is poor from Watford, giving the ball away there. Cipriano taking too many touches, but look, as they back off, he just slices across it. It's a wonderful finish. It's very deliberate. It's not a shank by any stretch of the imagination. But for Watford, this will be a kick in the teeth. 30 minutes have been excellent, not made too many mistakes, but this is the quality that this Birmingham City side have. You make a mistake, they will punish you, they will score.
Well, it was Doumbia who sort of left it for Cipriano, who wasn't really set for the ball, and Paik didn't need a second invitation to fasten onto that, and from that moment Watford were really under pressure. And the team with only 1 win in 8 away games so far this season, and 8 goals scored as well, are behind once again on the road. But here is Loser. Wide towards Mama. And Mama's got support from Imran Loser. And Bowler down the left-hand side. Loser again. And Birmingham here just tend to find a way at St Andrews. Of course, they've scored a hatful of goals recently, but they're looking for 4 successive Championship wins at home since January of 2016 against a team they've often struggled against over the years. Only 1 win in 12 games, and 10 of those have been lost since Clayton Donaldson scored the winner here in the early days of Gary Rowett back in November of 2014.
Didn't have to remind me about that one.
Sorry?
That was the one that got away. Didn't have to remind me about that one. I don't think Birmingham had won in like 10 at that point.
I mean, obviously, look, we know your affection for Birmingham City, but Watford tended to beat them, and you tended to be in the team. So was it a game you look forward to? You sensed a weakness?
Absolutely, because I'm from the area again. Like, I've got friends who were in the crowd. You want to score. They weren't thinking this is Troy from school. This is the next player. They were giving me all sorts of dog's abuse. I think when you play against your home team, you want to score, obviously. I was fortunate enough to score quite a few, and I scored against the guys across the road as well with Villa, so I enjoyed it. Today's been a perfect game because I'm obviously a Birmingham City fan, but I spent 13 wonderful years at Watford and really enjoyed it, so I can sit here as a bit of a neutral today and I'll win either way. It's one of the very few games I get to watch like this.
Here's an opportunity for Roberts as it fell to him inside the penalty area. But a snapshot which is over the top, but he gets applause from Chris Davis, or certainly the move does, because Birmingham here do look capable of taking a firm grip on this game. Yeah. Troy's record, 140 goals in 419 games at Watford.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Could have been better.
Plenty of goals in the Premier League as well. Which...
Yeah, no, we could have done better. We should have done better. But again, for me, it was more of a proud to look at where the club that I came into versus the club that I left. So, that had changed 100-fold at that point. So, wonderful family club with Sir Alton John and Graham Taylor and some wonderful people that had done some great work. And we were just able to leave a bookmark in time that we've been relatively successful. I must say I'm impressed so far with the couple of minutes that Watford have shown that they're not going to crumble under the pressure. In years gone by, maybe this is the Javi Gracia effect, they would have started finger pointing by now and started to go under. So need to get to half time, but for Blues I feel like there's an element now where they need to kick on, really just put Watford to the sword, because this Watford team with the ball haven't been great. Without the ball they've been okay, but they keep turning it over now because they've got to try and make something happen, as Watford send 5 subs out to get warm. So Javi Gracia not too happy with what he's seen so far.
Well, Watford have won 15 points from losing positions, which is the most in the EFL so far this season. And it's worth making the point as well, they do have the youngest team in the Championship in terms of the average age of the starting 11, so plenty of players are learning in a very hard school. Now Doyle.
I always find that kind of stat interesting, because clearly that's a recruitment strategy. We see it with Chelsea in the Premier League, and we give teams credit for going young and fruitful and trying to develop these players. But the aim is to win games. So when it's going against you, I don't think you can lean on that as an excuse or a get-out, having the youngest team.
Because those were the players you wanted to buy.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Here is Roberts now, coming forward for Birmingham City. Attacking the goal away to our right, down their right-hand side. Now, Asai Samuel. And it's slipped back towards Asai Samuel by Doyle. And the pullback from Asai Samuel doesn't quite find Dooch. And it's scrambled away on this near side by Caban. And Marmo will try and bring the ball away. Back towards Caban again, who didn't really need the ball in that sort of area. And he hooks the ball straight out of play.
Marmon's absolutely stitched him up there, hasn't he? But again, wonderful play for Birmingham City. Again, Doyle at the heart of it. Lovely play on the inside from Patrick Roberts. He puts a wonderful weighted ball into Samuel, who's made the overlap. I just want Samuel at that point to fire it across the box. We're looking at he's 7 yards out. He could either shoot or fire it low and hard across the box. Tries to cut it back, and in those moments Watford have got too many players in the box to even pick somebody out.
I remember Bright Asai Samuel scoring a brilliant individual goal here for Queen's Park Rangers a few years ago. He was more of a wide midfield player then than the fullback he is here tonight. But he does have that talent, doesn't he, potentially?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's down to what the manager wants. He wants you to go for those high-performing ones. And I'm just seeing myself on screen, which is always a worry there. But
so I did tip them off you were here tonight.
But when you're in a situation that you look at this Birmingham City team, they create wonderful chances.
Here is Marma coming forward now for Watford. Squeezes the cross into the penalty area. Loser coming at pace, unable to control. He then goes down under a challenge. And then Birmingham give the ball straight to Ngakia on the edge of the penalty area. Bowler hits it. Left-footed, never got hold of it, and it's wide.
That's the strangest bit of work I've seen.
We've seen that a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, it just comes back to him. And the big striker trying to lift it out to Damari Gray, where it's probably the hardest thing he can do. Instead of just looking after it, gives the ball back to Watford. It breaks to Bowler, and he just gets his shot with his left foot. Again, slices across it. No real quality there, unfortunately, for Watford. But it just feels like the game's got into a bit of a lull at this moment in time. And I'd expect Birmingham City to kick on. And I think this is what Chris Davis will want, because they allow teams that sense of we're still in the game. Watford will have to be better second half. Will have to be.
Now Ngakia does well to control the ball under pressure from Damari Gray, and it's cleared away by Nathan Baxter up to the halfway line. Birmingham quickly play it forward, but Baxter knew that Gray was going to be offside, and Watford should have possession here with Pollock. And he can bring it forward with just over 6 minutes of normal time to play in the first half here on Talksport 2. The home of the EFL, Birmingham 1, Watford 0. Birmingham looking to move within a point of the top 6 with a win here tonight. Chris Davis was saying before the game that he does believe they've turned a corner and they're a bit of a different animal, but there's no doubt they are very good here at St Andrews. As Stansfield is penalised for a challenge on the edge of his own penalty area. It was a good run forward right down the centre from Tom Ince, and Stansfield was coming back with him, clipped him, and it's a free kick for Watford.
I think Tom Ince has used all his experience there. It didn't look like a foul. He's trying to break away, get to the edge of the 18-yard box. We've just seen a different angle. He's used all his experience there. He's just left his legs there. Basically, he's just essentially stopped, allowed Jay Stansfield to run into the back of him, and Watford get a free kick 25 yards out. This is perfect range for Imran Louza, who we know has the quality to score from this range. But again, comes from Birmingham City, being a bit sloppy on the ball, turning it over. Watford will be very, very happy with where they're at this moment in time.
Only Tom Ince's second appearance or second start of the season. Hasn't scored for over a year, but his next goal would be his 100th in league football. But Imran Louza will surely be the favourite. 6 goals and 5 assists for him so far this season. His best scoring season already. Mama is often there, but here is Louza who curls it, but the wall leaps, and it's taken out a Birmingham player who was hit in the face there, and play will be stopped. Now, at the other end of the field, there is a confrontation between Ngakia and Stansfield, and the players who were concerned about the Birmingham player who was down on the edge of the penalty area then all rush en masse towards the halfway line to try and deal with the confrontation between Stansfield and Ngakia, or maybe more accurately try and get involved.
Weirdly for me though, Ngakia just pushes him for no real reason. Jay Stansfield obviously is trying to put pressure on him. He doesn't hear the whistle, and nothing really happens. But Jeremy Ngakia just pushes him in the back again for no real reason. One more thing, I understand concussion is a real thing within football, but every time a player heads the ball now, they go down and the referee stops again. That wasn't a really powerful shot that just got put in from Imran Louza. He was trying to whip it and feel it into the corner. The centre-back heads it and goes down. We're just about to watch a replay of it. Just watch this.
It's Neumann who leapt, and it hit him on the forehead, and he did go down initially, but referees see that, and that's what they're told to do.
I know, but again, maybe I'm becoming one of those old cynical players in my day and all of that stuff, but it just stops the flow and the momentum of the game. This is football. You are supposed to have... Oh, nice.
Stansfield now with a nutmeg, and now it's played wide towards Damari Gray inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Gray comes in field. Oh, what a screamer from Damari Gray. He hit that right-footed, and it flew beyond Nathan Baxter before it even moved. And Damari Gray produces the sort of moment the Birmingham City fans love him for. And at the moment as well, St Andrews has become a real fortress. Nobody wants to play here. It's Birmingham City 2, Watford 0.
What a goal from Damari Gray. Wonderful work from Jay Stansfield. 2 little nutmegs in the build-up to this. Sets Damari Gray away on the edge of the box, and I'm looking at him cutting in on that right foot. I'm thinking, just set someone on the edge of the box, get your shot off. Little do I know, he's going to drop his shoulder, come in on that right foot, and absolutely put it into the top corner. Unstoppable goal from Damari Gray. Great to have him back, but wonderful, wonderful goal. No chance for Watford or the goalkeeper there to do anything about it.
And that came again from Watford giving the ball away.
Yeah, again, both goals will be avoided, but let's take nothing away from this. Damari Gray gets onto his right foot. I'd probably argue Matty Pollock can get closer to him a little bit. Again, you know he's on his right foot, but as he cuts in here, he just drops the left shoulder to give Matty Pollock the eyes, and then whips it straight into the top corner. You can't hit that any better. It's a wonderful strike, a wonderful finish. Nothing short of what Birmingham deserve.
The ball really smacked into the back of the net, and all the water caught in the netting came shimmering down into that Watford penalty area. And now maybe a sign of frustration as Dumbia slides in on Clara, and it will be a free kick for Birmingham on the edge of the penalty area. 2-0 they lead, 90 seconds before half-time, and the fans will be eyeing another 4-goal haul here.
Yeah, Watford need to just see it out now to get to half-time. They would have been happy at 1-0, I think, but at this moment in time, it's a little bit that youthful naivety, isn't it? Sometimes it works in your favour when you're attacking, but defensively, as you alluded to, giving the ball away both times for the goal, unnecessarily trying to overplay in areas they don't need to, and this Birmingham City team has just too much quality for you to do that.
2-0 to Birmingham as we tick towards the end of 45 minutes. Ben Toner, the fourth official, will tell us shortly how much added time there will be as Loser goes back to Pollock and he puts his foot through it, clears up to the halfway line, but Clara rises above Dumbia to clear away, and here is Tom Ince down the Watford right, exchanging passes with Ngakia, and it's all the way back towards Caban. Now Cipriano. And inside the Birmingham penalty area, or rather Watford penalty area, and we have 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 minutes to play in the first half here at St Andrews on Talksport 2, with Birmingham leading by 2-0. And we have seen two brilliant finishes from Paik Sung Ho and Amari Gray, who of course came back to football in the UK from Saudi Arabia, a season with Steven Gerrard's then team Al Ettifaq, to come back to Birmingham, and it looks a very good decision for him. 4 goals and 4 assists so far this season. And if you're Javi Gracia now, what are you thinking? What's the plan for half-time?
I think I want more from my midfield. I think it's fair to question Imran Luz. I don't think we said his name a lot. In terms of just getting on the ball, he can't do nothing for the goals, but in terms of getting on the ball and trying to give Watford a structure and a framework to play on, I think the same we're seeing with Doyle, I want to see from Loser. But I think we need a bit more belief that they can actually do something in that attacking third. I won't be surprised if a Chet Fatadze comes on. Tom Ince has been okay, but not done great. Marma goes down every 2 seconds, as we just seen in front of us here. I want a little bit more belief is what he'll be asking for.
Free kick for Watford, which Pollock will play wide towards the far side, and Caban. Now Pollock's got some room to think about the ball, and he clips it wide to this near side, looking for Bowler, but Asai Samuel steps in field and wins it back, but then Neumann put under pressure by a ball back into the penalty area, but Beadle is there to help him out. He sweeps it downfield, and Nathan Baxter, who had no chance with either goal, quickly plays it forward for Watford. The water again beginning to splash up as players challenge midway inside the Birmingham half, as Roberts has been caught by Cipriano, who's not had the happiest of 45 minutes, and it will be a free kick here for Birmingham, and there may just be time to take it before half-time.
Yeah, sorry, he'd be one to be a little bit worried, wouldn't he, about coming up at half-time. Already on a yellow card, gave away the first goal in terms of turnover of play. Maybe he's one that's looking, that Javi's looking at to maybe put Kayembe on there, who you know will get on the ball with his left foot and make things happen. A little bit disappointed for him. I saw him a lot last year at Peterborough. He really excited me with the forward runs he made. Obviously scored against Birmingham in the final, wonderful goal. But used to break it like an 8. Used to break really hard, really powerful. Don't really see that in a Watford jersey at this moment in time.
Baxter will clear downfield. We are well beyond the second minute of added time, and that is half-time. And Birmingham City in control. Paik Sung Ho after 31 minutes and Damari Gray 2 minutes before half-time. Both outstanding finishes after Watford had given the ball away when well placed. And Birmingham, who have been so strong at home so far this season, look set for another victory as it stands. Although Watford did come from 2 goals down to win their only away game so far at Derby County, but at the moment, the way this game is going, that looks a bit of an ask. Half-time, Birmingham City 2, Watford 0.
Well, it isn't exactly what we'd expected. We thought that Watford, unbeaten in 5, would have a little bit more steel to them in the end. Maybe it's individual errors that have been costing them. It is what we expected from a Birmingham City point of view. They've been absolutely brilliant at home, and they've already got tonight 2 stunning strikes. Troy Deeney, let's go through them. We'll start with the second, shall we, from Damari Gray, because since that goal, it's felt like Birmingham, who had good control over the match, are actually now in a little bit of cruise control. We're going to need to see something different from Watford in the second half. Damari Gray's stunner. I mean, it's great to see him back. That's what you said straight after the goal. He feels like he's very much at home back at Birmingham City. 4th goal of the season. For him, having moved around and not really felt cherished by any of the clubs he's been at of late, it's great to see him enjoying himself.
Yeah, obviously he had a wonderful time at Leicester, didn't he? He was Everton as well, and Saudi. But there's nothing better than being at home. And I think also the framework in which Chris Davies gives him to perform. He has to do a little bit of defensive work, but when they have the ball, they dominate the ball. He's getting the ball fresh, high on that left-hand side, allowing himself to cut in on the right foot. But the finish, he drops the left shoulder, Hugh, comes in on his right foot, and as soon as he hits it, you just know goal. It's so clean, it's so pure, straight in the top corner. And when you see the replays with a little bit of water coming off the goal as well, it looks even better.
Great hit for the first from Paik Sung-ho. Pinching the ball off Cipriano. A bit of a mix-up in the Watford midfield. But, I mean, Troy, does anyone fancy closing him down? Not after the tackle. The shot was his 5th touch.
Yeah.
As he's walking through the middle of the pitch, bearing down on goal. I actually think Watford made his mind up over whether to shoot. He thought, well, if no one's going to close me down, I might as well hit it, and hit it. He did.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you on that. I think it's very harshly looking at it, but I think I'd look at Matty Pollock for both of those goals. I think he can engage, as you say. Once Paik starts to look like he's only going to shoot, go and engage, go and make something happen. He doesn't take nothing away from the strike. He's got to cross it with his laces, had a little bit of fade on it. It's not a slice by any stretch. He means that. It ends up going in, and there's nothing the Baxter can do in there. But then for the second one, again, Matty Pollock's going out to him. If I was being a coach and being overcritical, I'd say, what foot is Damari Gray? Right-footed. Show him on his left foot. Yeah. He doesn't. He shows him on his right because he thinks he's got help in there, and he puts it in the top corner. So for me, ultra critical, but Matty Pollock's got to do better defensively there. He's been around the block. He knows how to play this league. You got to go put your body in the line of the ball and take nothing away from the goals for Birmingham. Watford will be disappointed. They've turned the ball over both times, and I would argue they could get to the ball quicker.
Believe it or not, it's almost twice as much when we look at expected goals for Watford in that first half. Only 0.26 for Birmingham City, 0.45 for Watford, which underlines the quality of those 2 goals. Elsewhere, at 60% possession for Birmingham City, who've had 7 shots, same number as Watford. 3 of those on target for Birmingham, just 1 on target for Watford. So it feels a very tight game, possession aside. What do you feel has cost Watford most in that first half?
Honestly, a lack of belief that they can actually do something. That they're in survival mode. To get it to the listers is a bit like Spurs go to Arsenal. They've come to set up shop and hit on the counter-attack, and as soon as they get it to the final third, it's becoming rushed. A distinct lack of quality in terms of taking an extra touch and hitting the target. They've sliced 3 or 4 shots inside the 18-yard box and not even made Beadle make a save. The one save he did have to do, basically he could have chested it. If it wasn't raining, he would have chested it and brought it down. But I just think they need to believe a little bit more. Again, I said it in the commentary, a young team, which is fine because you recruit for that. That doesn't allow you now to use that as an excuse when you're not showing up to games. Because we give them credit for it when they win, but I want to see them believe a little bit more, have a little bit of youthful energy that's like, right, I'm going to show you what I can do. And then secondly, for me, they just can't keep turning the ball over, Hugh, in these areas. You see both of the goals. There's no pressure on the ball, and they make the mistake. So you keep doing that against a good team, you're going to be in trouble.
You said, as soon as you saw the weather, under the lights at St Andrews, that it's the kind of night you would have wanted to be out there. Well, it's been a fiery game, which is good. We like to see it, the passion and stuff like that. The only challenge I'm really concerned about is Hector Cipriano's high studs. He did make contact with the knee of Sung-Kyu Park. I'm just asking the question, Troy. That's my job.
Can he do anything about it? It's momentum.
It's a high foot.
He wins a ball.
Should it be red?
No, he wins. It shouldn't even be a foul, mate. He wins the ball, and his momentum takes him through. He doesn't change his leg, his foot shape, nothing. He just wins the ball, and he goes through. This whole thing now, that if you scream loud enough, you get the fouls, is really irritating me, because sometimes there's going to be someone that's actually injured, and we're going to miss it. What we're doing now is it's basically watching WWE at times. Honestly, the guys get hit and they go down screaming, and then as soon as the ref gives a yellow card, bang, they're back up and they're fine. Take the person, by the way, who went and scored 5 minutes later. So he's fine. And again, I love football. I love this game. It's given me everything in my career. But you have...
Well, we've lost Troy Deeney, who clearly isn't a fan of screamers. The good news is we've had a couple at St Andrews tonight, one from Pakes and Cho, the other from Damari Gray, and it means that Birmingham City are halfway on their way to moving to within 1 point of the top 6 in the championship table. We'll reconnect with St Andrews in a moment. We'll be back with Nigel Adderley and Troy Deeney very shortly. But at the break, live on Talksport 2, it's Birmingham City 2, Watford 0.
At Lidl, whether you're popping corks or cracking cold ones this Christmas, we've got you covered. With Lidl Plus, you can get a Lini Prosecco Spumante for only $4.69 and a 10-pack of Corona for $8.29. Lidl, more to value. Be drink aware, 18 plus, subject to availability, excludes Scotland. Offers end 10th and 31st of December. Terms apply, see lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
This Friday's Euro Millions jackpot will have you dancing like nobody's watching. Yeah, baby. Just make sure nobody is watching. Get in this Friday's Euro Millions draw. Play on app.
Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
There's a reason we rewatch Home Alone every year.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
It's because the best stories stay with you. And Disney Plus is where you'll find your next great story. Whether it's Fantastic Four, First Steps.
We will protect you.
High-powered drama, All's Fair.
Tell us your story.
Or brand new Percy Jackson.
That was just the beginning.
A lifetime of great stories awaits on Disney Plus. Now streaming 18 plus, subscription required. T's and C's apply.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Every investor has a future in mind, whether it's seeing your kids through uni or picturing yourself retiring in Tuscany. The hard part can be knowing how to get there. JP Morgan Personal Investing can help you see the path ahead. With our intuitive app, expert support, and 150 years of JP Morgan's investing experience, you can start making more informed investment decisions today. Search JP Morgan Personal Investing. Invest with clarity. Capital at risk.
We're the dirty secret in your drains.
We may start as a nasty little nick,
but we get more powerful.
Crawling up your pipes.
Choking your toilet.
Until it's all aboard the express train to drain pain.
When your drains become a total horror show, call Metro Rod. Metro Rod's heroes are on hand 24/7 to nuke all the nasty surprises in your pipes. For sanitation salvation, visit metrorod.co.uk. Metro Rod, here to save the day.
This year's Vodafone Black Friday deals are here. Get iPhone 16e and save a huge £468. One of the many incredible savings you won't want to miss. Hurry, deal ends 1st of December. Go in-store or search Vodafone Black Friday today. Vodafone.
Save £468, 1 gigabyte plan over 36 months. Phone cost £588. Eligibility, credit checks and terms apply. Financed by Vodafone.
Unmissable Christmas offers at M&S. Get 25% off all beauty from big name brands like Estee Lauder, Clinique and Bare Minerals. Stocking up on your favourites for less? Love that. Shop in-store and online and make this Christmas full of love that moments with M&S. T's and C's apply.
It's a full speed ahead week of Premier League football on the Talksport network. Tuesday night from 7:30. Fulham face Man City on Talksport 2. While Bournemouth battle it out with Everton on the Talksport app. And Newcastle take on Spurs from 8:15 on Talksport. Top flight Tuesday night football on the Talksport network.
Hard-hitting football coverage.
He hits it first time. What a volley, what a goal.
Pushing the apex of live football.
And it's in.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Roberts slipping and sliding under pressure from Bowler. Hooks it in field. It's won by Cipriano, but then Cipriano has been robbed by Paik. He comes forward here. Paik hits it brilliantly. Outstanding goal by Paik Sung-ho. And that really is what he is all about.
And 20 yards out, he just drives it, cuts across the ball, wonderful strike. No chance for Baxter. What a goal. Birmingham 1, Watford 0. Oh, nice.
Stansfield now with a nutmeg, and now it's played wide towards Damari Gray inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Gray comes in field. Oh, what a screamer from Damari Gray. He hit that right-footed, and it flew beyond Nathan Baxter before it even moved.
Unstoppable goal from Damari Gray. Great to have him back. But wonderful, wonderful goal. No chance for Watford or the goalkeeper there to do anything about it.
Birmingham City are turning St Andrews into a fortress. They've scored 4 goals in each of their previous 3 home games, and they're halfway towards completing that feat once again tonight. At the break, live and exclusive EFL action here on Talksport 2. It is Birmingham City 2, Watford 0. We'll be back with the second half alongside Nigel Adderley and Troy Deeney, the former Watford captain, in a few minutes' time. Before that, just a little bit to tell you about, because we've got a feast of Premier League midweek football for you this week on the Talksport network. Every game is live with us. It all starts tomorrow evening here on Talksport 2. We're going to be at Craven Cottage as Fulham welcome Manchester City from 7:30. Now, ahead of that one, our very own Anil Candola has been speaking with the Fulham keeper, Bernd Leno, who was full of praise for his manager, Marco Silva.
He's a fantastic manager. I think when you see the numbers, what he got out of the Fulham team or what he has been building here at Fulham when I came, we have a completely different team. We have a completely different mindset. Tactically, we are much better. The mentality and everything. So it's absolutely brilliant what he has done to the Fulham club, and I think everyone has to appreciate him, like every fan, what he's doing here. And you can see the hunger, the fire he has every day here, because whenever you switch off or you relax a little bit, he's in your neck. He's and everything, and I think that shows his mentality, his ambition, and all that stuff. He's a fantastic manager, and unfortunately, at some point, he will leave, because I'm pretty sure that he will be in one of the biggest clubs in the world, because he deserves it. And yeah, but as I said, everyone at Fulham Football Club is so happy that he's here, and yeah, hopefully he will stay here for even longer.
Bernd Leno, underrated Premier League goalkeeper, I think, doing his thing for Fulham alongside Marco Silva, his manager, and they will host Manchester City from 7:30 tomorrow here exclusively live on Talksport 2. Staggered kickoffs this midweek in the Premier League. Some start at 7:30, some start at 8:15. So tomorrow night, that game here on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport at 8:15, I'll bring you Newcastle against Tottenham. 7:30 on the Talksport app. It's Bournemouth against Everton. All of those games exclusively live with us. Wednesday night, 5 Premier League games to bring you. 3 of those on the Talksport app at 7:30. Brighton against Villa, Burnley taking on Crystal Palace, and Wolves hosting Nottingham Forest. 7:30 on Talksport will bring you Arsenal against Brentford. At 8:15 here on Talksport 2, it is Liverpool against Sunderland. 8:15 kickoff for Leeds against Chelsea on the Talksport app. And on Thursday night, it is an 8 o'clock start, just to mess with your minds a little bit more, between Manchester United and West Ham. So a very, very busy a week ahead of Premier League football. We'll be back with the Championship, by the way, Friday night, 8 p.m. start for Hull against Middlesbrough. So plenty of live football to bring you. here on Talksport. It has all begun this evening with a event at Birmingham City. St Andrews, where the rain is still tipping it down. We're still trying to get Troy Deeney and Nigel Adderley back. So let me bring you some other news on some of the upcoming action we have for you, because I did mention that game against Hull, between Hull and Middlesbrough on Friday night. Saturday here on Talksport 2, we'll have Derby against Leicester as your lunchtime kickoff. 3 o'clock, we'll bring you Ipswich against the leaders, Coventry. Over on Talksport at 12:30, big game for Arsenal as they go to Aston Villa at 2:30, game day live with Adrian Durham, Alan Pardew and Leanne Sanderson. They'll have all the goals as they go in for you, including Bournemouth against Chelsea, Manchester City against Sunderland and Spurs against Brentford. Sunday, game day live with myself, all the goals as they go in. Celtic against Hearts, big game up in Scotland. Brighton taking on West Ham, Fulham against Crystal Palace as well. And live here at 2:30 on Talksport 2, FA Cup second round action between Boreham Wood and Newport. Let's head back to St Andrews. The players making their way back onto the field of play. We'll find out whether Javi Gracia has changed anything at all, alongside the former Watford captain Troy Deeney and Talksport's Nigel Adderley.
Thank you, Hugh. Welcome back to St Andrews. Both teams out and ready for the second half. And there don't look to be any changes from either side as Birmingham get the second half underway. Playing towards the Tilton Road end to our left-hand side, leading by 2-0. Peg Sung-ho and Damari Gray with 2 excellent finishes late in the first half after Watford had their opportunities. Both teams with 7 attempts on target in the first half. Watford with only 1 on target. Birmingham had 3 as Watford get the first free kick of the second half just in front of us as Doumbia is fouled by Gray. And the former Watford captain and Birmingham striker Troy Deeney is alongside me once again. And are you slightly surprised no changes for Watford?
Yes and no. I think they could have easily made changes, but I think also you want to give the players 10 minutes to say, look, show me something different, because we're going to probably have to change it. I think on the whole, Watford will look at it and say, yeah, this is great. Weirdly now, 45 seconds in, we're just seeing some images there. Chet Fatadza and Kayembe being sent to warm up in their kits and ready to go. But I just think when I look at this Watford team, if you take those 2 moments of madness where they've given the ball away, they would probably argue it's been a half-decent half. So, yeah, I can see why I didn't do that. But, again, need more from the strikers in this moment for some physicality and a situation where the ball can bounce back.
Cy Samuel brings it forward and finds Roberts down the right-hand side. Roberts with twinkle toes into the penalty area. Lays it back to Doyle. A low ball in from him, brilliantly defended by Caban. And then the cross back into the penalty area. And it was Stansfield with the header at the far post, which is over the top. And in the end, Watford looking very, very suspect when the ball gets wide to players like Roberts.
Yeah, again, it's really difficult, but Patrick Roberts is one of the best in the Championship, not just this season, but over the last 5 or 6 years. Really tricky. Again, maybe doesn't have as much pace, but he's got the wonderful footwork, and he's used to taking people on and coming up against Bola, who's more, again, known for going forward. He's just having him work out. But when you've got Samuel on the overlap, Bola's getting left 2v1. Needs a bit more help from his midfield if I'm being critical of Watford again.
Now Ngakia looking to attack down the left for Watford, playing towards their supporters in the railway end. And Ngakia maybe just left something on Gray accidentally, but Stansfield will run it clear. Stansfield was having his shirt pulled there by Cipriano, who was booked in the first half, and it will be a throw-in in the end. Chris Davis, the ball boy for Birmingham City. And Alex Cochrane will look to deliver this ball back in. And the next goal, absolutely crucial in this game. If Watford can get it, it will give them some hope. But if Birmingham get it, game over.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a perfect synopsis of how this game's looking at the moment. I think Watford have to show us a little bit more now in terms of character and belief on the ball. Birmingham City just need to raise it another 5%, and this could be, unfortunately, another 3 or 4 goal haul at St Andrews.
Now Loser coming forward for Watford, their captain wearing number 10, and he's been their main source of goals and creativity so far this season. Ince coming in field from the Right-hand side again, wearing gloves. One of a number of players wearing gloves on what is a chilly, very wet evening here.
It's not glove weather.
No, it's not that chilly, actually, is it? It was colder last week. Loser, though, with some great footwear on this near side. Delivers a high ball towards the far post, and it was taken well. And it's a brilliant save by Beadle to keep out Bowler, who cut him from the left, let fly, and Beadle, arching his back, made an absolutely outstanding save.
Wonderful work from Imran Loser there. Getting between two Birmingham City players. Little drop of the shoulder, gets past both of them, but turns out to his left foot, and it's a wonderful 30-yard diagonal. Bowler, poor first touch, but still manages to get a shot off. Nearly catches Beadle by surprise at the near post. It's a wonderful save, as you say, but better from Watford. They'll feel that there's a little bit more belief now that they can actually hurt this Birmingham City team.
Loser with an out-swinging corner, high into the penalty area. Plenty of shirt pulling going on from both sides. Doumbia was the player who challenged there for Watford. He was almost having his shirt ripped off his back, but it's headed behind for another corner. Loser again. Short this time to Marmer on the edge of the penalty area. Looks to trick on the outside towards the byline, and eventually the cross delivered in is blocked at the near post, and it will be a third Watford corner in this flurry of pressure.
Yeah, really well defended for Birmingham City. They're really surprised that Watford, just having success, did just put it back in the box.
Loser will try this time in towards that near post. It's cleared away, nodded back over the top by Bowler, flicked on by Pollock, and then Doumbia heads it down. It was behind Ince, just flicks up a heel to try and bring the ball under control, but he can't do so, and it will bobble behind for a goal kick. 5 minutes into the second half on Talksport 2, and it's still 2-0 to Birmingham.
Probably a good little encapsulation of this Watford team attacking wise there. Neely being the key point. They showed little flashes of quality, but that moment and that conviction at the end there to go and score just doesn't seem to be anywhere near these two strikers at the moment.
Well, conviction is the word, particularly away from home. We mentioned the 8 goals in 8 away games. 3 of those came in one game at Derby, of course, as well. So,
but for me, it's always easier to play away from home. At home was harder because you've got all your fans, all your expectation. Away from home, you're trying to feed off of the opposition essentially and try and shut their fans up. And yeah, it's a strange one because they're always going to be in games, but.
And Ngakia has done well to win it back here for Watford. And here's Marmer coming into the penalty area, cut inside, and maybe just went one touch too far. And in the end, it's deflected behind, and it will be a corner kick.
But again, no, they turn the ball over. Good from Jeremy Ngakia. He does well because he gives the ball early to Marmer, but that no real belief there that he can get at the defender and shoot. He wants to come in on his right foot, runs into all the traffic, and Damari Gray, to be fair to him, continues his defensive run and gets back and blocks the ball.
Loser's corner, high into the penalty area, over the head of Doumbia. It will break out to this near side and Bowler. He's got Ngakia in support, but he plays a high ball back to the far post, beyond everyone, and it bounces into those rather dishevelled looking Watford fans behind that goal.
Without sounding like a broken record, but again, cuts in on that left foot, Bowler, and it's just flicked. It's hopeful. It's not no real conviction that we're going to go and score from this. It's more hopeful that, this doesn't go completely off the pitch and everyone shouts at me. Need someone to step up now and show a little bit of character.
Well, Javi Gracia standing there in the pouring rain just in front of us as Beadle takes the goal kick. We played 7 minutes in the second half here at St Andrews. Birmingham leading thanks to those 2 first half goals, and good value for it overall as Damari Gray comes in field under pressure, but he finds Neumann, and Neumann going back towards Beadle, who quickly clears downfield. Dooch unable to win the ball under pressure from 2 Watford players, and he was fouled as he challenged for that, and it will be a free kick for Birmingham midway inside the Watford half.
He's done well, Dooch. He's not had much of the ball, but he's been in a position to occupy the 2 centre-halves every time and keep Watford honest, and Matty Pollock there just get a little bit frustrated. He just comes over the top of him. It's a foul all day, but again, Watford now started to show some cracks and some frustration, and Birmingham City just need to be patient and pick this Watford team off in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Dooch in the Djukovic role, really, for Birmingham City, as it's played high towards the far post by Doyle on the free kick. One bounce straight out of play. It's interesting that Birmingham, a team that have so much possession football, are playing someone like Marvin Dooch, who is someone who they can get the ball up to and maybe give them a breather at times. Oh, it's been given away. It's a great chance for Dooch. And he was 6 yards out there after Watford tried to play out, and Gakia with a horrible ball across the penalty area, but Dooch drove it wide.
Wow. Has to score. But again, Watford, the creators of their own downfall. I've done it again.
They've given the ball away again. Here is Stansfield now inside the area, and he's forced wide by Caban. And one or two words between Caban and Stansfield, and it will be a goal kick in the end. But Watford seem determined on every occasion here to give the ball back to Birmingham as quickly as possible.
Yeah, just going back to that Ngakia one, he's on the right-hand side. He tries to play a pass into the opposite six, misses it by a country mile, gives it straight to Roberts. To be fair to Patrick Roberts, I thought he would take a touch and shoot himself. First time pass to Douche, who's 6 yards out in the middle of the goal and just toe pokes it wide. It's a lack of quality.
Here is Boland out the other end, drives it into the penalty area, and sliding in to make the challenge at the near post was Neumann, and it will be a throw-in. And there is something in this game for Watford. Only 10 minutes into the second half, it's 2-0. And it is not an entirely comfortable lead here for Birmingham, because Watford do have that threat on the counter-attack.
Absolutely, but you would think with that level of opportunity that was just missed, that the mistakes that are creeping in now are creeping in more from Watford, and you can't keep giving this Birmingham City team opportunities like that, because they will go ahead and score. I think Watford have just called back in 3 players. They look like Chetfatadze and Kayembe. I didn't see who went in first, but clearly feeling that something needs to change. Birmingham City, on the other hand, maybe 5% more, and this could be a real big onslaught.
Well, they've now scored 14 goals in just over 3.5 home games, as Damari Gray is the target of a long ball played forward by Doyle. And he's inside the penalty area now on the left-hand side, and Gakia looking to hold him off and force him outside the penalty area with a degree of physicality. The referee sees nothing wrong. And here is Paik in towards Gray again, who's given the room to spin inside, and he lets fly again, and he just reared up off the turf there, and it was well judged by Baxter.
Yeah, Damari Gray started to show his quality, and started to see Jay Stansfield just start to rat around a little bit more now. Watford trying to show that they can play, but it's showing more and more to me that the problems that Watford will have, because it's just they've just played it off each other, but it's a lot of the play is all in areas that don't really help anybody. It's all in their own half, showing these little touches. But I just feel like Birmingham City will get a goal, and I'm sounding more and more like a Birmingham City fan, I am aware, but just the way it feels, don't you think, Nigel, feels that Birmingham have got a goal in them in the next few minutes?
They're more effective,
yeah,
and Watford are trying to play out in conditions that aren't really conducive to that.
And I think that's because there's a lack of physical presence up front. They've not been able to drop balls into the 2 strikers, not been able to feel that the ball's going to stick up there, so they're trying to overplay and work their way out of it.
Lovely footwork again from Roberts on the far side. He tried to slip in Asai Samuel, but Asai Samuel could be caught out of position here, but the ball in field from Kerem Gord is quickly regathered by Birmingham, and they have a throw-in on the far side. It's thrown in towards Stansfield on the edge of the penalty area, but he used his arm to control the ball, and it will be a free kick, and Watford take it, but it's a rolling ball, and they will have to go again here. And we played 12 minutes in the second half here on Talksport 2. Massive weekend of Premier League football coming up, as Chetfatadze will be coming on. The Georgian last started a game for Watford in March, played 16 minutes in the draw against Preston, but there's no doubt Watford are a better team, or look a better team, when he's in it and on form. As Ngakia now controls on the chest on this near side. Tomorrow night, Fulham Manchester City here on Talksport 2 with Joe Shannon and Martin Keown. 7:30 on the app. Bournemouth against Everton with Ian Danta and Scott Minto, and Sam Matterface alongside Troy at St James's Park for Newcastle against Spurs on Talksport. And we have 6 games from the Premier League coming up on Wednesday. And Ngakia with a good cross into the penalty area, and Mama arriving at the far post in behind Asai Samuel, and from very close range he can't keep the shot down.
Oh, it's a great ball in there. But Mama again for me, I know we keep talking about he's young and his talent. You've got to hit the target there. He's 5 yards out on his favoured foot as well. It's a wonderful ball from Jeremy Ngakia. Switched off at the back post there from Samuel from a Birmingham City perspective. But that goal would have changed the whole complexity of his second half, and unfortunately shows Watford being a little bit toothless yet again.
Well, Kayembe, Vivaldo Semedo and Chakvetadze are coming on, and it is Ince, Kerem Gord and Cipriano who have gone off. Cipriano making his way towards this near side player who was booked in the first half.
Interesting there though, just watching Kerem go off. He looks fed up. He looks as if he's shocked that he's come off. I think he's had the least amount of touches in the game. I think it's 11 at this moment in time. He's given the ball away every time in the second half. I don't understand where the ego and the arrogance comes from these players sometimes.
Well, the triple change made by Javi Gracia. And Mama has come across to this near side. Dumbia still down the middle. And now Kayembe will find Mama, and he will dash forward with the help of Vivaldo Semedo, the young Portuguese player, signed for Udinese. He's mainly been used from the bench so far, but does have a goal and a couple of assists. Loser in towards Dumbia. And now Loser again. And Kayembe in the central area. Pollock. And every outfield player here is inside the Birmingham half with an hour played. Birmingham leading 2-0 on the home of the EFL Talksport 2. Arsenal-Brentford coming up on Talksport on Wednesday. And there are app-exclusive commentaries at Brighton, Burnley, Wolves and Leeds, with Liverpool-Sunderland on Talksport 2. As a low ball into the penalty area for Watford is turned in by the youngster Othman Mama, and they are back in the game. Birmingham switching off, and Mama was there to turn in his first goal. And it's 2-1.
Great finish by Mama. It's a wonderful play from Watford down that left-hand side. Chakvetadze, we spoke about coming on, takes the ball forward, sucks in two Birmingham players towards him, and just slips a lovely ball in to Bola, who's on the overlap. And again, Birmingham City just switching off. Samuel, you can see why he doesn't play normally, but it's a pull back into a wonderful area. And Mama just gets a good contact, goes through the legs of Damari Gray, and game on. This was not in the plan at all for Birmingham City, but they seem to have switched off the last 5 or so minutes and given Watford an impetus now that they can go on and get something out of this game, but it definitely wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Well, Mama has switched over to the right-hand side, and within a few moments he scored his first goal for Watford.
And in that situation it helped him out, didn't it? As he got cut back, it cut back onto his left foot, so he's naturally coming onto it with a bit more conviction than he did with the cross a couple of minutes ago from Jeremy Ngakia. But the changes for Watford seem to have sparked them into life in terms of having players who want the ball, feel a bit more comfortable, and it really seems to have unsettled this Birmingham City team.
Dumbia, important challenge there by Cochrane on this near side, because otherwise Mama would have been away for Watford. It's hammered downfield up to the halfway line. Clara rising above Ngakia, then Loser winning the header. And it's suddenly become a bit tense and a bit tetchy around St Andrews. 2-1 with 62 minutes played. We can hear the Watford fans now on the far side urging their team forward. It's Bola. Now Chakvetadze coming in from the left-hand side. Plenty of yellow and red shirts are forward here. And Ngakia, high ball to the far post, and that's a simple claim for Beadle.
Yeah, really good for Beadle there. Just taking the pressure off, taking the sting out of this game. But the anxiety that's grown really in the 2-3 minutes for this Birmingham City fan base is really, really interesting, because they were comfortable, they were playing well, and Watford score a goal, probably against the run of play. And it's just turned this whole crowd a little bit nervy, a little bit twitchy. Watford need to capitalise on that now, kick on, and really have a dominant force. But the changes for Watford, with Kayembe in there, with Louza, they've got people that want to get on the ball, and Chepfatadze just drives and drags people towards him. So this will play out really nicely for the last half an hour.
And now Chepfatadze again, found by Semedo, looking for Bowler on his outside. Asai Samuel slides in, a huge splash of water rears up from the playing surface again, but Chepfatadze has it back. It swings a high ball into the area. Cochrane, though, is there to head the ball away at the far post. And Caban will go all the way back to Nathan Baxter. But now Chepfatadze and Kayembe. And Kayembe scored twice at Derby when Watford came from 2-0 down to win their only away game so far this season. Loser again, in towards Chepfatadze. And he flicks it wide to Pollock on the left-hand side. And Watford suddenly have a bit more confidence about themselves. Loser over the top, looking for Doumbia. Headed away by Neumann. And it's quickly gathered by Doyle. Infield towards Paik. And the free kick conceded by Vivaldo Semedo. And it will be a free kick for Birmingham City. But you look back on that miss from Dutch, should have made it 3-0, game over, and now it's a very different game.
That's the Championship for you. You have moments in games where you have to score, and that was a massive chance. 6 yards out, just lashed at it, got his toe on it instead of trying to finish it. And it just feels like Watford, the changes have just, it's night and day between this Watford team, isn't it? They're trying flicks now.
Mama flicking on towards Doumbia, infield now to Semedo, but he's unable to gather, and it's Neumann who brings it forward. Slipped in towards Dutch, appeals for offside, but nothing given, and now Gray can come forward for Birmingham down the left-hand side. Good challenge, though, by Ngakia. Gray made that easy for him, really. And Mama will come forward now, infield towards Ngakia again, but Mama regathers. Chepfatadze was completely unmarked there, but he couldn't quite see him.
But again, Watford now, Ngakia winning those 1v1 battles with Demarai Gray. We never said that in the first half. And now, we spoke about it in the first half, they looked uncomfortable with the ball. But with Kayembe in there and Chepfatadze and Imran Louza, they're becoming a more growing force, and they're giving themselves a foundation to just keep building it. And it's Birmingham City that have lost their shape. They've lost their direction of what they're trying to do, which is not something you normally say about against Chris Davis's teams.
Mama with a cross into the penalty area. Neumann heads away unchallenged. Gray back to Cochrane in the left-back area. He clears it long downfield for Birmingham City. And the rain remains incessant here, but the course of this game is maybe just changing. 66 minutes played, and there's going to be a change for Birmingham very soon. Keshi Anderson will be coming on to make his 300th career appearance. And he will just try and calm things down in the midfield area, maybe. As Chepfatadze gathers now for Watford, comes in field from the left, tries to shrug off the challenge of Asai Samuel, but he can't do so, and now Birmingham will find Gray on this near side. Mama heading across to try and close him down. Cochrane in towards Clara, and here is Paik. And Gray skipping in field, but he shows too much of that to Kayembe. And Watford have the ball back again. Mama, and it's Stansfield coming back to make the challenge.
Yeah, he's growing into the game more now, Jay Stansfield, showing that quality, showing that energy, just refusing to be beat. Demarai Gray looks a little bit tired. It would be surprised if he comes off for Keshi Anderson, who I think is a Duracell, but he's got loads of energy, drags his team forward and never shirks the hard work. So interesting changes now for Birmingham to try and get a little bit more control. They've been poor to start this second half.
Clara, 2 away games coming up for Birmingham at Southampton and Queen's Park Rangers. Watford at home to the bottom 2, Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday, over the next week or so. And here is the change, and as you predicted, Troy, Demarai Gray maybe just hobbling as he comes off, but no doubt in the quality of his goal in the first half. And it's Keshi Anderson who comes on to replace him.
Yeah, did a good shift. Obviously, he's got the goal that is the winning goal at this moment in time. Wonderful finish into the top corner, but seems second half to have kind of blown a little bit of a gasket, allowed Jeremy Ngakia to get back into it. And to be fair to Jeremy Ngakia, he's been really good for Watford in terms of breaking up play, but he's got a completely different beast coming up against him now in Keshi Anderson, because Keshi will be direct and he will non-stop run. Really impressed with this young man. Got released from Blackpool and came into Birmingham City on trial, and not only earned himself a contract, but became one of their, in my opinion, most valuable players last season.
7 goals last season, just a single one so far in the current campaign, but everybody is chipping in for Birmingham. They've scored in every single home game. There's Asai Samuel, sprints forward now, using his pace down the right, but he just gave Pollock a nudge, did he? Well, the free kick's been given. The assistant on the far side, Alistair Nelson, had the flag up.
It's cheap, isn't it? It's a cheap one. It's one that it's just been pumped into the corner. Samuel's there running with Matty Pollock, and you know, as a forward player, don't touch him. And to be fair to Samuel, he doesn't. Matty Pollock just goes down and rolls on the ball, and it gives a foul. Look, it doesn't touch him once. He's got away with one there, Matty Pollock, because that would have left his Birmingham City team in on goal, 3v1 in their favour.
And now Nathan Baxter is being encouraged by the fans in the Kop on the far side to move the ball back about 3 inches before he belts it 60 yards downfield.
I've been there. You hear every single word of abuse that's been laid at you by these Birmingham City fans.
And it's headed away by Bright Asai Samuel on the far side. 20 minutes to play here on Talksport 2. Birmingham 2, Watford 1. And Birmingham look to be absolutely cruising at half-time. But that goal from Othman Mama has just changed the course of this game as Birmingham give the ball away. And it will be a throw-in which Chakvatadze will try and take on the far side. And there's no doubt that Birmingham here and Chris Davis may be learning a good deal about his players as Keshi Anderson chases forward on this near side and defended well by Caban initially, but that maybe sums up Watford defensively. Caban won the ball, strode out and then passed it straight out of play.
Just feels to me like a moment for Landon Dykes here, somebody that's been in the Championship for a while, that could just get hold of the ball, take the sting out of the game for Birmingham City. Obviously gives you that goal threat, but just to be a little bit more cute in their play and just slow it down, because at the moment all the momentum is with Watford, and Birmingham City just need to take the sting out of the game. Not only with the ball with their passing, but also buying some fouls, taking some yardage up the pitch as well.
Keshi Anderson, if it stays like this, Watford will have had 3 wins, 3 draws and 3 defeats since the return of Javi Gracia, which was the same record which Paolo Pezzolano had before he was sacked.
Yeah, I think the difference is what some wonderful football.
Now Stansfield infield towards Keshi Anderson. Alphonse Samsted and Lyndon Dykes will be coming on very shortly.
Yeah, Samuel's just down on the far right hand side here. Hasn't played in a little while, been injured. Looks like maybe his race is run here with Samsted coming in on that right side.
And Samsted, the Icelandic international, has played 5 minutes so far this season as Marvin Duch comes off and Lyndon Dykes will come on. Both of his goals have been winning goals so far, and as you said, Bright Asai Samuel just hobbles off on the far side and Samsted will come on to replace him.
Yeah, I feel like Lyndon Dykes has been in that position where you can see the qualities he has there. You just don't see it consistently enough, and I want to see more of him. He's a big, strong boy. I think physically he can impose himself more in games. He's obviously got that Championship experience as well as international pedigree.
He's got a World Cup to play for as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big moment for him in his Birmingham City career, and he's coming up with a little bit of pressure, but now just needs to start looking after the ball and be astute in this game today.
Well, Dykes and Stansfield was one of the striking partnerships which helped Birmingham out of League One last season. Of course, there were a number of strikers here. Alfie May was another who scored plenty of goals. Now back in League One with Huddersfield. It's proud to say Samuel gets applause from the Tilton Road end as he makes his way around the pitch. And Ngakia running looser for Watford, and now Kayembe all the way back to Caban. And we have just over 16 minutes to play. A high ball forward again for Watford, headed away by Clara, infield. Doyle, though, stooping in to find Samstead, and it's back to Beadle. No messing from him. Long and high down the centre. Dykes doing well to win the header, and he will certainly occupy the Watford defenders in the remainder of this game, but it will be a Watford throw-in on this near side. I made the point earlier on about the record of Pezzolano and the record of Gracia, but you'd like to think that even in Watford's world, Gracia's a longer-term appointment because of what he can do to the club and what he has done at the club.
Yeah, I think it's more about connection, not only with fans and with players, but by all accounts, the previous manager was very prickly, very standoffish, challenged the ownership a lot, and when you have a record, as you've just said there, 3-3-3, I don't think it gives you the credence to start challenging people. And I think with Javi's past, I think he will be in a position where he has a lot more flexibility. But he knows better than anybody, if you don't deliver results with this ownership, you will be moved on. And this goal has given them a little bit more, and they'll probably look at the game thinking, wonder if we should have started with Kayembe and Chet Patadza. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. There should have been 3 or 4 goals down, in my opinion, and they need to be a bit more better if he wants to stay here for the long haul. You can't get away with just being a nice guy. You have to deliver performances.
Well, he took Watford to their highest position since the days of Graham Taylor. As Dykes does well to win it here from Caban. He can break into the penalty area. Dykes has got Stansfield square of him, but he passes the ball beyond him. Stansfield will now gather on the far side. Infield again towards Doyle. Roberts now will pick it up on the right. Doyle goes down, and it will be a free kick and a yellow card shown as well.
We just spoke, everything we spoke about Landon Dykes there just came out to pass. Wonderful effort working down his left-hand side. Slides in, wins the ball back. The defender falls down, and he's driving. It's 2v1 in Birmingham City's favour. The whole crowd is shouting, shoot. Me as a former striker, I'm saying, shoot. He tries to pass it to Stansfield, which was probably the better XG chance for him to score. Overhits it, and the chance just disappears. But it just feels again that's the frustration with Birmingham City fans. They want to see a ruthless streak in there, and with it being 2-1 with 75 minutes gone, it just gives Watford that glimmer of hope. One set piece is all it needs, and we know this in the Championship. They have to be more ruthless if they want to get to the Premier League.
It was Imran Louza who was booked, his 4th yellow card of the season, and it will be a free kick here for Birmingham. Doyle is over this, and Doyle clips it high to the far post. It's headed away, importantly, at the near post by Pollock, and Watford will try and clear, but they work the ball out, but then it's given away by Roberts. Roberts sliding back in, but Watford have it again here, and there'll be a free kick awarded here for the challenge and the pullback by Stansfield, and he'll get a yellow card as well for holding on to Doumbia. It's all very scrappy and very nervy now for Birmingham. 13 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Birmingham 2, Watford 1, and a game which looked to be in Birmingham's control is now in the balance. Jack Fatadza on the far side for Watford. Bowler high towards Doumbia, headed away well though by Clara. And now Anderson, a diagonal ball to the Birmingham left, but Ngakia will step in and make the challenge, and Baxter will keep the ball in play, avoid the corner, and he's got time to bring it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. And now Ngakia, long and high, seeking out the run of Doumbia on this near side, but the ball bounces out of play, hits the assistant referee on the back of the head, and that will be a throw-in for Birmingham, and they're just beginning to take their time over the restarts here. 26,006, the crowd here at St Andrews this evening.
It's a good effort, isn't it, for this time of year, and not great conditions to be out, and the Watford fans have played their part in that as well.
Yeah, it is a dismal night weather-wise. The Watford fans don't have a huge journey home down the M1 or the M6.
It's got to be M42, M40 at this time of night, isn't it? Surely.
Well, something will be closed on the M1. Yeah, I would definitely go M40. Anyway, more travel news to come as Bowler comes forward on the far side, and he wins a throw-in for Watford, level with the edge of the
Patrick Roberts
Birmingham penalty area, and Patrick Roberts has got a yellow card for kicking the ball away.
No, he kicked it back onto the pitch so that Watford couldn't take the quick throw-in. Just looking at the league table there, Birmingham City will go 7th on 28 points. 1 point outside the playoffs. Feels like their season hasn't really started yet.
But here is loser for Watford inside the penalty area, and the low shot is gathered well by James Beadle, and it was an opportunity there for Vivaldo Semedo. And it's cleared wide to the far side for Birmingham. And now Samsted has got Roberts in support. Samsted towards the byline. The crossing, though, met at the near post, but Roberts will win it back straight away again. Cochrane, good ball from him. Wide towards Doyle on the right. Doyle with the cross in. Hook clear by Pollock up towards the edge of the penalty area. And on the halfway line, Birmingham, in the shape of Neumann, go all the way back towards Beadle again. Inside the final 10 minutes. Birmingham 2, Watford 1. On Talksport 2, Keshi Anderson down the left. First time crossing just beyond Dykes, and at the far post, it's a stooping, stumbling header behind by Bowler under pressure from Stansfield, and it will be a Birmingham corner.
Yeah, good play down his left-hand side again. Keshi Anderson coming with the energy. It's a wonderful delivery. It gets down onto his left foot, just puts it into an area. Lyndon Dykes arguably should get his head on that. I think he doesn't expect the centre-back to miss the header, and ends up being a weird defending opportunity from Bowler at the back post. Just diver heads it wide, and Watford just sending Moussa Sissoko in. So probably having one more swing at the roll of the dice there to try and get something in this game.
36-year-old with nearly 300 Premier League appearances. He could be on very soon. But it's a corner kick for Birmingham, looking for the goal to finally put Watford's challenge away here. And the referee is just having words with one or two players inside the area before the corner is swung into the 6-yard box. Dumbia rising to head clear. And then it was Mama who heads it wide to this near side. Anderson, though, gathers for Birmingham, has support from Doyle. The Wolves low knee, so there's a possibility he could be going up. Well, his parent club go down this season, but we'll have to wait and see. Long way to go. And Birmingham have worked it wide to the far side, and they've won a throw-in, and that's the cue for a number of Birmingham fans around us to get up and start to leave with the game in the balance.
They're all in the posh seats, though, aren't they? That's why. Trying to beat the traffic home.
Yeah. But if you're going to spend your money on the posh seats, why not stay for 90 minutes?
That's probably the problem. They haven't spent it, arguably. But no, it's again, for me, it's always strange when you leave at this moment. The game in the balance, as you say. If it was free...
And they're not alone. There's people...
everywhere. They're all...
the Tilton Road, yeah.
But again, it is a Monday night. People do have work. So
absolutely.
Maybe I'm being cynical.
Paik now has it on this near side. He's challenged by Loser. And Loser is able to squeeze the ball out of play. And it will be a throw into Birmingham, and there are plenty of parents with kids on their way out, which is understandable as well. Still a school night, a few weeks left of the term before the Christmas holidays, as Cochrane has a throw in here for Birmingham. Dykes coming short, back towards Cochrane again, infield to Paik, and Paik will try and head towards the corner flag, but good challenge for Mangakia, and then Cochrane will hammer the cross in, deflected behind off Loser, and it will be a Birmingham corner, and they've done well to get through around 3 minutes there without really pressurising the Watford goal, but at the same time Watford can't get the ball.
Yeah, this is good bit of play here. Just try and take the sting out of the game. Play the game in Watford's half. Still feel that Watford will get a chance, whether it be a long ball or a set piece. Birmingham just need to manage the next 7 minutes.
Corner kick into the near post is headed up and behind once again by Bowler, and Musa Sissoko will be coming on now. And it's the goal scorer, Othman Mama, who is going off. So the youngster replaced by the veteran. You would have played against him in the Premier League.
Yes, I did, yeah. Wonderful player at Spurs, big, powerful, and at Newcastle, to be fair. Big, powerful, marauding midfielder. I think he was brought into Watford to try and fill the void that myself and a few other players left from a leadership point of view, and it's been okay. I think he's flattered to deceive at times, but obviously he has a growing influence when you have such a young team.
Well, the corner kick there from Doyle swung straight onto the roof of the netting, and it will be a goal kick for Watford with just over 5 minutes to play. Birmingham leading 2-1. Watford have given the ball away on the far side, that eventually Birmingham will win a throw-in, and Birmingham heading for 6 home wins in 9 games, only 1 defeat. Their run of scoring 4 in home games may be coming to an end here, but it's still a very, very good record. And when you draw away from home as they did at the Hawthorns in the derby against West Brom, if you can come home and back it up with a victory, then that's a really good sign. But Watford may have something to say about that. Chakvetadze now charging forward on the counter-attack. 3 in support. Chakvetadze wide towards Sissoko. The low cross in is blocked. And there he is again, Sissoko, but pinball inside the area as he tries to work it infield towards Semedo. And Birmingham will clear. And now Stansfield at the other end, going beyond Ngakia. Stansfield may need support now. Keshi Anderson is with him down the left, but Stansfield heading towards the corner flag, and the challenge comes in from Ngakia, and Birmingham have the throw.
Yeah, really good play there from Jay Stansfield, just taking the team 30-40 yards up the pitch. I think for Watford again, they just showed though, Chakvetadze carrying the ball 40-50 yards of the pitch, sets it to Sissoko. A lot of people behind us calling for a handball. I don't see it. It's just showed a replay in front of us. It hits Cochrane's ankle, then hits his hand. There's nothing he can do about it. Good call from the referee.
In the 87th minute, Cochrane now looking to attack on this near side, but he's given the ball away to Loser. Flicked in field by Sissoko. Kayembe, or rather Ngakia clears, but now Sissoko does well to win it back from Anderson, and Loser looking to change the point of the attack. But Watford are going backwards at the moment towards the edge of their own penalty area, until Caban finds Ngakia again. Now Doumbia.
They're all coming to the ball.
It's very difficult to get it forward here.
All coming to the ball. They need someone to run in behind and open the space so the midfield can get the ball into Chakvetadze. The 2 strikers again have been really disappointed with what they've offered so far.
And now a free kick's being given for a challenge on Doyle, 15 yards inside the Watford half, and Birmingham once again can take some time out of the game here with 3 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Don't forget, tomorrow night here, 7:30, Fulham Manchester City on the app. Bournemouth against Everton, 8:15, Newcastle against Spurs. Then on Wednesday, Arsenal Brentford, 7:30 on Talksport. Liverpool Sunderland on Talksport 2. Every other game is on the app, including Leeds Chelsea at 8:15. Free kick for Birmingham is very, very deep, but it's recovered by Keshi Anderson at the far post. He turns though into a double challenge, and it's Ngakia who clears. And here is Doumbia now, looking to break over the halfway line, infield towards Loser. Loser looks to Chakvetadze on the left, but instead it's Doumbia on the right. Now Loser again, Chakvetadze remaining in space, and Bowler will find him on the edge of the penalty area here. What can the Georgian do? It's clipped high, headed away by Anderson, and then Stansfield is there to shuffle the ball away, but Watford now have it back with Ngakia. Needs to be a good cross just over the head of Loser. Anderson now in the fullback area, just happy to turned and thumped the ball down the line out of play, and it will be a Watford throw-in.
Again, good play. We spoke about it in the Championship. You're always going to hit that 5-minute spell for another team, and it feels like Watford are going to get one chance, one moment, and if they did get that, Birmingham City would be kicking themselves for the chances that they've missed and how dominant they've been over the course of the whole game. But Watford will feel there's one more chance coming.
Sissoko back towards Kayembe. Ticking towards the 90th minute here, but there will be added time to come. Kayembe again. Slip forward to Bowler. And Semedo works it wide to Chekvetadze. And Chekvetadze back towards Semedo. The crossing, though, maybe lacking conviction. Headed away by Paik, but quickly recovered by Pollock. Birmingham very, very deep here. Looking to defend their penalty area and defend their lead. And Ngakia finding Kayembe. Loser. And now Caban. And Pollock looking for support. And Pollock now forced back towards the halfway line as a Watford player has gone down off the ball there. But nothing is being given. It was Samsted, the player involved for Birmingham, behind the referee's back. But here is Loser, clipped over the top. That's an interesting ball and well claimed by Beadle, because Watford had runners there going through the centre. It was Mark Bowler, the fullback, the furthest player forward, but Beadle came flying out and made a good claim.
Yeah, wonderful goalkeeping there.
Oh, now at the other end, Roberts will gather the ball. There'll be a minimum of 3 more minutes as Roberts, by the corner flag on the far side, claims he was having his shirt pulled by Pollock, but nothing given by the referee. But it will be a Birmingham throw-in. 3 minutes seems a bit skinny to me.
It did, didn't it? I was thinking, I don't think we do that anymore in 2025, do we? It has to be minimum of 6 or 7. But again, for Birmingham City, just having those little bit more quality, a little bit more nous. Patrick Roberts keeping the ball right in that far corner.
Mark Leonard coming on for Birmingham, and it's a very popular figure, Jay Stansfield, who will come off. 7 of his 8 goals in the Championship so far this season have come at St Andrews, but nothing here tonight. But he played a key role in that second goal.
Yeah, again, lovely, just see the replay of it. A lovely little nutmeg there on the centre-back, and a little toe just before Jeremy Ngakia gets there to set Damari Gray away. And then the more you see it, it's a wonderful finish from Damari Gray. But I think it's the unselfish work that Jay Stansfield has kind of brought to the party today. A lot of running without the ball, a lot of winning the ball back for Birmingham when they've been under pressure. This is just one of those ones now. They have to see it out, and Jay Stansfield gets a big hug from Chris Davis, because he knows how much work he's done for him.
And Patrick Roberts also replaced by Lewis Kumas, son of Jason, on loan from Liverpool. And rather like at Stoke last season, plenty of his appearances have come from the bench so far. Dykes from the throw-in on the far side. And Birmingham just looking to maintain possession here. It's back to Clara, who was the last man. He clips it over the head of Cochrane, straight out of play, and Watford will have a throw-in. And there's still just over a minute of added time to play here.
I was just going to say to you, I just feel that Birmingham needed to play this next 90 seconds in the Watford half. Doesn't matter how they do it, just do it. And Clara just plays a little bit of a loose pass and just gets it straight off the pitch and gives the ball back to Watford. Nervy moments.
Watford in final chance territory here as Pollock brings it forward down the left-hand side. Bowler on his outside. Chekvetadze in support. Bowler looks to hit the byline. Was he fouled? Goal kick's being given.
Really good defending from Kumas there. Spoke about him coming off the bench, but it's a tackle that only does he win the ball, but he kicks it off Bowler as well and gets the goal kick for Birmingham City, and it will feel like that was the chance that Watford had. I think Bowler just does too much there. Could he just put the ball in the box, trying to go down the line, and look like he tried to nick a corner, unfortunately, for Watford. But really good defending from Kumas, and that's what you need from your last-minute subs. Come in and be ready to impact the game straight away.
We've gone beyond the minimum 3 minutes here. The Birmingham crowd very keen to hear the full-time whistle as Beadle clears downfield. Adam Hertzek still allowing play to continue here as Dykes flicks it forward. And Gakia hammers it down the line. Paik forward though for Birmingham on the halfway line. And Pollock has got to get this launched, but he plays it wide to the far side. And Bowler finding Pollock again. Another look at the watch from the referee. The Watford fans are urging their team to get this ball forward. Caban into Dumbia, and Dumbia's played a good ball to pick out Pollock. Bowler's in space here. The Birmingham fans screaming for the full-time whistle, but the cross in is headed away by Clara. Back out towards Bowler. He's away from Kumas this time. The cross into the penalty area flicks off a Birmingham head. It'll be recovered by Loser. Loser flies the ball in. Appeals for handball there against Anderson. Nothing given. And it rebounds back into the path of Anderson. Anderson challenged by Loser. Loser then fouls him, and it's a free kick. And Chris Davis telling his team to calm down.
Yeah, it's good, really good play there from Keshi Anderson, but Birmingham do live on the edge, don't they? Unnecessarily invited pressure. Wonderful headers there by Clara. Two big time headers. One as he gets whipped in first time for Bowler, heads it 19-20 yards out, and that should be the game. But for Watford again, flatter to deceive, don't they, in those attacking thirds.
Beadle will take the free kick. It will surely be the last action of the game, heading towards the end of 95 minutes here.
It's got to be a rugby kick per touch, hasn't it?
That's it. It's another home win for Birmingham, and they close in on the playoff places. Watford lose yet again on the road. Javi Gracia unable to inspire a rise up the table so far, but there's no doubt Birmingham City have returned to the Championship, and they mean business. Full time, Birmingham City 2, Watford 1.
Well, it's what these home fans have come to expect of late. A big 3 points under the lights at St Andrews. The Birmingham players congratulate one another. The Watford players having to be forced away from the officials in the middle of the pitch. Not sure truly what complaints they can have. It was a fairly contested game, and it was a fairly even game in the end. They pushed and pushed and pushed at the end, but Birmingham City have held out and they take the victory, which means it's 4 wins in 6 for the Blues. They're up to 7th now, 1 point off the playoffs in the Championship. Watford's 5-game unbeaten run comes to an end. They stay 15th. They're 5 points off the top 6. Troy Deeney, tough game for both in the end. Was it the right result?
Yes, I would say so. Just that the 2 bits of quality in the game came from Birmingham City's goals. I think Birmingham had more chances to go and win it in the second half and make it a more comfortable game. Watford will take some comfort that they didn't quit and kept going, but it felt a bit huff and puff from Watford. It was more hopeful than actually going on and taking the game to Birmingham City, and I think both teams will look at that result with positives as well, that they can grow from this. But Birmingham City will have to look at it. If they want to be where they need to be, Hugh, they've got to develop a killer instinct, and they made that game so much more unnecessarily anxious than they needed to. They're happy they got the result, and you move on, and that's what you do in the Championship. But you've got to kill games off when you get 1v1s and chances like that to finish the game off.
The subs in the end, I think, made a big difference to Watford's impetus. The goal came just a couple of minutes after the triple substitution. Do you think Javi Gracia should have made those changes at the break a little bit sooner and things could have been different?
Again, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Maybe. But I also think sometimes if you would have started with those players, would the game have got away from them because it had been too adventurous? I think they were good subs. They took them up the pitch, checked for Tadza. They looked more controlled with Kayembe and Loser in there. But for me, it's until they figure out the goal scoring, and maybe as a former striker, I'm looking at that a bit more harshly. But there was no foundation for anyone to build off. The ball kept coming back, and it's got to require the midfielders to run 20, 30 yards and do something special to score. When you look at Birmingham City, they've got big strikers, not only one, but one that can come off the bench. And then they've got quality in and around that. And for me, with Watford, it's a little bit I don't know what I'm going to say without being too nasty. It's a little bit hopeful, mate. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. After, 18 games in the Championship, only Blackburn and Ipswich have played 17. They'll play tomorrow because of their game being called off. It's incredibly tight. Middlesbrough second on 33 points. Charlton 17th on 23 points. 10 points separating those. They're in a bunch, Birmingham City, just ahead of them though. And if you think positively and you look ahead of them in the table and their chances of a top 6 finish, Bristol City, Preston, Stoke and Millwall are the 4 teams in front of them in the playoff places. They will feel Birmingham City, I'm sure, that especially if they can do the right recruitment in January, that they should be finishing above those teams. And I mean that with all due respect. I think Birmingham in a confident place right now feel like maybe they should be finishing above those teams. How do you see it?
Yeah, 100%. I think they not only should be feeling that, they should have the confidence to go and chase teams down. Again, they've got top quality players to come back and add to this already amazing squad, in my opinion. But again, it's just that ruthlessness now, Hugh, that nastiness to get the job done. And don't get me wrong, in the times I've been promoted out of this league, you need a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune. But there's the ones who get promoted have that killer instinct in the final third, and at the moment, I can't see that.
And they've got 2 away games coming up in the next week, Birmingham, so we'll learn a good deal about them, I think, after those.
100%, and obviously you've alluded to at the top of the show that here at St Andrews, it's a fortress away from home. It's not that. I think they'll be happy. I don't think they'll be looking at this like we can compete with Middlesbrough and Coventry at this moment in time. But there's sure enough things to work on that they can do. For Watford, they need to be careful. And we spoke about it in here with Nigel, 3 now for Javi Gracia. You have to start to wonder, if they can't score the goals, are they going to end up in a relegation battle? Because, yes, they play nice stuff between the boxes, but they don't keep too many clean sheets and they're not scoring enough goals. That's a recipe for disaster.
It's going to be interesting to see how both continue. Just 1 point accrued by Birmingham in their last 3 away games. They've now won 4 home games on the spin. They go to Southampton up next at the weekend before a trip to Queen's Park Rangers. Watford will host Norwich this weekend, looking to bounce back from defeat. Troy Deeney, Nigel Adley, thank you very much indeed for your company on Talksport 2 this evening. Remember, we've got more live and exclusive action coming your way from the Championship. Friday night we'll have Hull against Middlesbrough. Saturday lunchtime, Derby host Leicester in a Midlands derby, and a huge game between Ipswich and Coventry at Portman Road from 3 p.m. all exclusively live here on Talksport 2. A bit of FA Cup second round action for you on Sunday, as well as Bournemouth host Newport County from 2:30. The Sports Bar about to get underway over on Talksport. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundia with you. You can get your calls in and let them know about everything you've seen and heard tonight. 03717 22 3344. The number